All right. Wasn't that a good
Yes,
conversation?
always. I love what they're doing, and I just love to see Black women thriving.
Me too. Yes, it was a great talk. I love Star. They're just I feel like we're in this space of, really talking about how we can build um a
Organized.
community, and have these conversations with each other. That was the whole idea of Bold Black Girls. It was like building this community that we can gather around us, right? We have all these women that are in our network, that are in our, community, that other women need to be exposed to them and
They
see,
do.
and then some are new that we're continuing to be exposed to, and then we just bring them to you guys so that we could try to also share with you what's going on. Because for me, I'm motivated by exposure. When I'm
Yes.
exposed to something, I'm now knowing, it's like it lets you know what's possible in the world. Like, listening to her first question was just like, okay, so like, you not in technology though, like how you
Right.
start
But you
technology
got a
company.
whole business on a technology platform and you don't even have the experience. You just fill the gap.
And guess what? So that just encouraged me, because I'm not even going to tell you what's on my manifestation list, girl. And it's something similar, not that same business, but I didn't think about the how. You can't worry about the how all the time. Sometimes it's like God will give you something and you just got to say, the how ain't my business. This is just what he put in my heart, and so this is what you're going to pursue. So I love that, because you just learn how people got things done and you're like, see, that easy. I mean, I can't use the example I used to use a long time ago about the president of the United States.
Oh yeah,
But
don't.
I used to use the example with that because I'm like, well, just because you're the president, you don't know everything. You have a team. Your team
True.
knows. You're the leader, right? You're supposed to be the leader. We have seen that is not the case at this point. But
But we
um,
know that not everyone is able to be a leader. Everyone
and
can't.
exactly. So if you're a great leader, you could definitely lead a company, or even be a founder of a company, and then you build your team around you to fill in
Yes.
all the things that you don't know how to do. So I love that.
And I learned something new because I actually didn't know that she had an employee component to their business. I'm not sure if you knew. I just thought it was from an employer perspective. And so to me, when I was sitting there listening, it put me into the thought of like this could be like how you go and comment on restaurants.
That's basically what it is. It's kind of like
And
how, like,
right.
Glassdoor.
Or Yelp. Yeah,
Yeah.
Glassdoor. And I'm like, we need something like that, especially as Black and brown individuals, to see, hey, how was that experience working there? And what was your experience?
Mm.
Because a lot of times you see Glassdoor, but you don't know if that person looks like you, right? So their experience could be totally different than what we would experience.
It's specific to
It's
diversity.
specific.
So people will
Yes.
get in there and be like, oh, if you go to Glassdoor, they're like, yeah, when I went on my interview, this would happen and blah, blah, blah. Or I worked here for a year and their management don't know what they're doing. That's what I always
Yes.
see. They'd be like, they all over the place. And that's a typical review that you'll find.
Yep.
But to specifically get answers on the diversity side of things and that person's experience.
The Black employee experience.
Exactly. That's valuable. That'd be very valuable. So I love that. I love that they came up with something from scratch, and they're thriving. I mean, their gift is making room for them at this point.
Yes.
So
They're on Good Morning America. So
I know. I'm like, come on, somebody on Good Morning America. Anywho, yes, girl. So how was your week? I don't think we even talked. We didn't even catch up, but
we haven't
good
caught
week.
up. Let's see. I think I did. Yeah, it's been really busy.
I think.
No, it's been really busy at work. Like training wheels are off. I'm definitely rolling down a hill, or up the hill.
Right.
So, work is busy. I'm trying to think. Nothing really eventful. Like I told you, I've just taken a hiatus to Zoom networks. I just don't know why, but I just need a break.
I feel you.
I think this was the perfect time to just. It's a perfect time and excuse not to join things. And then, we talk about personalities, right?
Mhm.
Going back to the introvert Kim is out. So I just like to tell people, if you're listening and you're my friend and I have not been as social or extroverted, is that I'm just in that season. And I feel like now with the season changing, the fallback game is getting stronger.
Even more. And I think people understand that with the pandemic, because I know for me, I literally, I have not gone to any social things, and they're happening. People, look, in Texas, let me tell you something.
They turned up.
Are out here in these here streets in Texas. Okay, I mean, the day parties are back on, the clubs are back open, things are happening. Everything is back out here. So, which is crazy because I'm like, aren't the numbers going up?
The numbers are actually, they say they're increasing. So, I mean, I'm very hesitant about going to social events. Even small social events, because they're even advising people no Halloween parties and get-togethers for even Thanksgiving or Christmas. So it's just like,
I was thinking about that today because my dad's coming for Thanksgiving. Good. Well, the week before Thanksgiving, he's coming. He's going to stay for 2 weeks and then he'll go back. But I was like, first of all, I'm not thinking about cooking. I was like, what restaurants is doing a good Thanksgiving meal? Like that. Like just a typical, it might be Pappadeaux. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm not a turkey person anyway. So none of that is really appealing to me. The only thing I really love on Thanksgiving is dressing.
I knew it. That's
it. And I don't need that right now. After I got on the scale this morning, I don't need I
tell you all the time, I don't deserve it.
I don't deserve it.
But a salad.
I don't even deserve to smell it right now. I can't even think about it. And then the thing is, I can make dressing anytime. If I really just want some dressing, I can make it. Yeah. So I'm like, shoot, we might go to Ruth Chris, or something. Ooh. Just make it a good dinner evening and call it a day. Not make a big deal out of it. So just happy to have him come. That's the main thing. So yeah, but yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely on the strong what did you call it? Fallback game stronger?
Yeah, because last year we did a fallback game strong, right? And I was like, I feel like in 2020 the fallback game has gotten even stronger. And in a sense that it's also kind of like intentional. Like I think God set us down.
Oh yeah.
Some of those who are listening, some of those who may not be listening. I'm listening.
I am listening. And when I tell you I am listening hard, like I've decided, and we've talked through this a lot, that I'm just really going to dig as deep as I can dig into where God wants me to be and just fill in all those gaps of areas that I needed to work on for years. And, he's kind of maturing me during this time to seeing things and being like, okay, work on that, get better here, do that. Research more about my personality, ways that I respond, seeing how I respond in certain areas. Oh, you get triggered in these moments. Like, how can you consciously, be aware of these? So these are things that I'm like, I'm really trying to dig as deep as possible and figure out my purpose, and walking in my purpose. I feel like God is starting to reveal that more to me now that I'm paying attention and like talking to him and giving him uninterrupted time. I think that now, and I've talked to you earlier before this, I'm like literally like spoke the word today and it happened this afternoon, like specifically using people to speak a word into my life and then coming to fruition in the middle of the day, like that same day. Like these are the things that I'm like, this is what he said that was going to happen, like,
and in the words of Kierra Sheard's song, it's happening.
It's happening. Yes. And so that's where I'm at. My fallback game is saying I'm valuing purpose over that
pleasure
stuff. Yeah.
Purpose over pleasure.
Because I did that. I think I did good. I'm not, Toni Braxton, did you hear when she was saying like, I wish I would have did more stuff back in the day? Did you hear that a couple weeks ago? Well, maybe a couple months ago when she was saying she wished she would have drank and smoked and did all these things, I guess she wanted to like, she didn't really get to party, because she was young when she came out and she was in the church and like,
I was going to say, considering her background as well.
And I'm like, well, I don't have that testimony.
And everybody's journey is different. I don't feel like there should be any regrets.
No,
your journey is your journey. I kind of like on what you're talking about, reflection. This week, I did schedule my first therapy appointment. So I was like, they sent a postcard in the mail. It was like, are you frazzled? And I'm like, am I frazzled? I was like, I don't know that I'm frazzled. but it's free and I could definitely use it, right? They said the best time to go to therapy is sometimes when you don't need it. When you think you don't need
You
it.
think you don't need it. Yeah, because you just
When you
never
think.
know.
Yeah, you never know. So I'm looking forward to that because then that's going to open up something new and that whole discovery process of Kim and kind of unpacking who that is and how I parent, right? I need to be a better parent because I'm in a different phase of life, right? I have a young adult.
It's like, don't fight it. Go with it.
Yeah.
Try to figure it out. Learn it. Listen. Dig it. Some people, I think, they're scared to uncover those things, and it's like, uncover it. Let's see, because you know, once you see it, you know you're gonna have to do something with it. Like you
got to do some work. You gotta. What did he say? You can't fix what you don't face.
That's true.
So you got to face it so that you can fix it, and I think that's a lot of problems that are going around here. We haven't fixed what the problem is because hurt people are just hurting people
and not facing it. It's like a parent who sees that their kid has some issues going on, like some either learning differences or something, you know, that they're noticing, but then they're just going to ignore it. When you could be getting your kid help right then and there to make it better. And now instead of addressing it, now you letting it, they're gonna do worse than if you would have just tackled it from the beginning, right? But instead you're in denial. We do that with ourselves all the time. We'll see something wrong and be like, okay, we're just gonna act like we don't see that. We're gonna move on, you know. And it comes a time when you just gotta. It's better to do it though.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And I mean, this is, I feel like my season 2. I always say I go into hibernation when that you get that fall snap. All outside. I'm not trying to be outside.
I got Uggs on my feet right now.
In the house?
Yes. Because I don't be turning my heater all the way up. Like now I had to turn it up a little bit because it got to like 68 the other day. Yesterday I was like, oh, it's too cold up in here. I can't live like that.
I didn't put the heat on. I have like little space heaters for the room. So we're just doing that right now. It's not that I can't turn the heat on, but I'm just like, okay, maybe I'm gonna try and see if I can make it to November, which is crazy that October is almost done. This is just crazy.
I can't even believe that. That's
so yeah, my fall back game is definitely stronger this year. I don't no margarita ball this year.
I know. Well, I didn't go last year.
You did?
No. I just didn't feel like it. Remember, we had already fought that game last year.
I told you.
So I was already there. But I feel like what I'm learning more about this season is like about how God made me. When the more you learn about how God made you, why, and what value he's put in you, like, because he did it, so you can't be downplaying what he made. Like, accept it all. You need to accept it for what it is, where it is. It allows you to, you know how people say, I know my worth, I know my value. You know, it's like, that's kind of cliche, but it's real. Because you're like, you know what? No, I have something to offer the world. He's, you know, put me in this position for a reason, you know, different, just every area. As a mother, when I'm homeschooling, I'll be like, well, he gave the kids to me. So clearly he felt like I was able to, you know, lead and guide.
I like that perspective, especially for moms who are struggling right now. You may be struggling, right? Nope. He gave you those kids because he knew that you could raise those kids well.
You were called to be their mother. You are called to be the one that's teaching them. You know, you are called to be the one. So like, that's something that I've used as an affirmation for myself on a regular basis. And it makes me think about that story that we were talking about with Shonda Rhimes in this situation that happened. And I had Minda laughing yesterday because I told her, I said, it reminds me of, I said, it's like saying that I got divorced over a turkey fryer. Because if anybody who knows the turkey fryer story, it wasn't the turkey fryer, but the turkey fryer was like that was a part of the last straw in the situation that was way bigger than the actual breakup, right?
Right.
It was like the what? You know, so she probably said, so apparently for those, you know, who don't know about the Shonda Rhimes situation where she ended up leaving ABC after 15 years?
I know. And I didn't even know she had been there that long.
It makes sense though. Grey's Anatomy, started, and then Scandal, then How to Get Away with Murder, all these shows that came up, giving them all them good ratings and
great ratings, not just good, greatness,
great,
excellent.
Yeah,
Black excellent ratings.
Exactly. And then apparently there was some other things happening under the surface that were going on, because this incident that just took place, it was a turkey fryer situation in my mind, because apparently she had worked a deal where she's a single woman and she has children. Correct. And so her nanny and her sister help. That's a part of her village, to help her with her children. And so they had a thing where she got, I think, 2 tickets to Disneyland.
Yep, Disneyland.
And the nanny would get one, and then another adult. Well, I guess she tried to make it where, because she doesn't have a husband, so her sister would be that other person. So apparently they were going to take the kids to Disneyland, and first of all, that was a whole big old deal. Somebody said something like, "Don't you have enough?" That was the first response to her wanting the passes. And then when they gave the tickets finally, first of all, these tickets are like $190 or something like that, somewhere around there.
Oh yeah, they're very expensive.
You talking about somebody who giving you millions of dollars?
Millions.
Bring a little bit of and
keeping your network thriving.
That ain't nothing. That's nothing to them. And then when they went to go use the tickets didn't work, y'all. So now you embarrassing me.
Correct.
You got my kids and everybody out there standing in front of a ticket booth, and I'm giving y'all millions on millions on millions.
That's just like at work, in the workplace, someone saying, you make enough, right? But what I'm going to do is you're going to get this bonus, and you're going to get this bonus in November or December at the end of the year, and the bonus never shows up. So you're looking for it. You didn't plan your bonus and everything because you're thinking you're getting this bonus, and it's not there.
And to me, it wasn't even that big. That was like pennies in my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like a pass to Disneyland. Literally, I work for your company.
I work for ABC Disney.
Like you can throw a pass at me. Like that's not even.
I mean, you really should have asked me, like, how many passes do you need?
So what Shonda did was what a boss chick would do in this moment when she know her value and know her worth. Is Ramadan, she made a call to her team and was like, "Yeah, we moving on.
We're ready to pivot."
She went on and pivoted her way over to Netflix. She did a 180 to Netflix, and she inked a $300+ million deal with Netflix. And I'm pretty sure they'll give her whatever passes that she needs at this point. She was like, "Holla back at me. I'm out of here." So very proud of her. That was very inspiring.
Bold Black Girl of the Week right there.
That is the Bold Black Girl of the Week, which is a segment that we are introducing. Bold Black Girl of the Week. We just want to acknowledge people. It don't have to be even nothing, as this one is like just, it came into our lap. This one fell into our lap. So we were like, every week we should do something where we acknowledge just something that somebody did that week that was bold. And to me, that was a bold boss chick move. And like I said, once I'm exposed to something, but I'm just like, these are the moves that are making. Sometimes you just need to hear about moves that are being made to give you thoughts,
to embolden you.
Exactly. And she was courageous, and she was just like very adamant about what she wanted to do, and she did not take anything less. Because I mean, she could have easily she could have went and bought some passes. Yeah, she could have, but it was a principle. It was principalities in this thing. So I was happy for her and proud of her. I thought that was awesome.
And I love it, because a lot of times we don't make decisions on principles. We make them on
dollars. Right? It could just be straight dollars.
Yep, straight dollars. And she said, this is a principle. So to me, she made a point, and I am proud of her.
Yeah, that was one that made me smile.
I will be tuned in helping her with her ratings on Netflix.
I will be as well. Won't be watching How to Get Away with Murder. I never really got onto that or Scandal.
So yeah, I've never really watched either one of them because of my attention span.
Yeah, I was a Grey's Anatomy fanatic for a while, but that series kind of went on till forever. It just went on forever. Good for her. For me, I was like, okay, I'm out. Once certain people, I think once somebody died, and I was just like, okay, I can't. I'm done. I'm done with this because I used to be crying every week on that show. That show would get me.
Yeah, I mean, you have some people like I think Lovey. She started her blog on that, and that's one of the ways that she was able to thrive in her business is from Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy.
Wow, isn't that interesting?
I know, right? And she was just generally just talking about it, and they tapped her and asked her to pretty much blog for the episodes. And
I love that.
I remember that time when, you know, people were posting on Facebook like, I'm gonna get my wine, we're getting ready to watch Grey's Anatomy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
was it Grey's or Scandal? Was it Grey's?
It might have been both, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because I was one of them. I was a faithful. Scandal, I was in for the first 2 seasons. And then I was like over the storyline. I'm like, okay, I'm tired of this.
Yeah, if I'm laying down in the bed, I am not gonna make it. It's gonna watch me.
I was like, I'm tired of this. I can't watch Olivia out here like this no more. This is not. I can't see her out here living this kind of scandalous life. Anywho, so Ramadan
is part of our fallback game stronger. One of the things that I've started doing is watching just a little bit more television, right? And we watch just like you and the boys. Kiara and I watch television shows, but we have discussions like back in the day, you would just watch television, I think, with your family. But now I think like we are intentional about what we watch. And we literally will have a discussion during the show. Like, girl, did you see that? See, I wouldn't.
Now, wait a minute. Yeah, exactly. Positive talking.
Correct. And I think especially nowadays, like with children and trying to create that time for family time, you have to be creative and to get their attention, right? And so we will literally, like yesterday, she was like, so what are we watching tonight? And I was like, girl, did you hear Ready to Love is out? She said, come on, let's watch it. So I think I texted you either Friday or Saturday and I told you it was out, the new episode. I couldn't remember what day it was.
Yeah, I think and I want to say this is my only reality show that I watch.
I would say mine too.
I don't think I have any.
Well, no, we watched Teen Mom. That's my form of birth control.
Teen Mom.
Yeah, that's birth control. Turn that on. You talk about that struggle like you do not want that.
You could tell her that yourself.
Oh, I do,
but she didn't babysit enough of these babies to
Correct. It's called birth control reinforcement.
Exactly. Yeah, I love Ready to Love. That's actually one of my favorites. So they're in Houston this time.
I know, like those are neighbors, right?
But well, you know what I picked up on this time. This is how I felt like, okay, Aries, you're growing. Or I don't know if it's the people or if it's me growing, but like as I'm listening, because this particular episode, they were just like introducing you to the cast of the people, right? And I'm like, this person, they're not ready. Like I could just see it, you know.
Like, oh, so you think you should be dating? Oh, okay.
Right. I'm looking and I'm like, based on some of the things that they were saying. And some of them where they are in life. I was like, one dude, and I ain't trying to judge, but in my opinion, how little your kid is a big deal to me. Like if you got a kid that's under a certain age, I'd be like, you need to just go focus on that.
Go daddy. Go be a parent.
GoDaddy.com. GoDaddy.com. You need to GoDaddy.com.
So yesterday, we decided to watch it again, and you were watching it. So we're texting back and forth just about the episode because it was 2 hours long, the premiere. And I mean, I think I had texted you Friday night, like, girl, this guy on here has 5 kids.
They were young though.
I don't know how old they were because I couldn't get past the 5.
Well, the 5, I probably would, if they were like grown 5, I probably would have
been okay with it.
Been okay. Like, yeah, like if they're older, but those were like LJ and Marvin young. girl. Like in that range.
And I'm not judging anyone who has a lot of multiple kids, right? Listen, that's what happened in the past or whatever, but me and who I am and where I am and
me myself personally,
in my discovery of what I've learned about Kimberly, I can't do that, right? It's just not for me, and I just don't think that that's what God wants for me either.
I don't think He wants that for you either.
So, yeah, 5 kids is a lot.
But what we were saying about it, because I laughed at myself. I said, now it's a lot of games. It's a lot of homework.
It's just, we were just breaking it down. And at first, like, okay, before that he even said he had 5 kids, I was like, oh, he's handsome for 52, right? Because remember I sent that meme. Remember I sent that meme about the 52-year-old that I'm looking for versus the one who's trying to hook up with me. I immediately thought about that meme.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, he's 52. I was like, oh, he looks good.
52. Yeah.
They said, and he has 5 kids. I said, oh, he ain't that handsome.
I'm like, nah. I said, what? I was like, ugh, yuck, gross.
You said yuck, ew, gross.
And like she said, no judge. I'm not judging nobody that got no kids. We just not gonna be. I know how to qualify the people that I'm interested in. I have some really great guy friends of mine that became guy friends because when we first met, they were like, yeah, I want kids. And I was like, friend zone. Immediately. So I'm quick to put somebody in friend zone once I know in my mind like certain criteria that's just like, yeah. I'm the wrong one.
When we were texting, you said, I thank God for his grace and mercy.
Because this goes to the judgment. He got caught up. I could have had 5 kids.
Any of us could have.
Come on. We all could have a whole bunch of kids out here. And God just said, not so in my life. Thank you. But that made me laugh because you know how you just be looking at people. Because I look at those shows sometimes like, okay, let's act like if you was on this show. Like, first of all, who would you be attracted to? And then like, how do you feel like you would be as a character? Like, I don't think I would be a good character on these shows.
Right. So that's funny. You should say that. And I was going to ask you that. Kiara says, would you or Miss Aries go on that show? And I was like, oh, I don't know. She was like, you would be real funny. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know if I would want to go on a reality show.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be a reality show that's like really, really good. I don't think it would be a dating. I wouldn't go on a dating one. It'd have to be something like we come together as a team to solve a problem, or like it's some kind of something,
or even Black Mamas or something. It would have to be in that realm.
Even that, I don't know, because I would not be good in conflict situations on these shows. I just be like, I don't care about half the things they be getting mad about. I'm not about to be overly jumping and sitting on no dude's lap trying to be all like, look at me. Like I don't know if I would be good for that because I just ain't that type of person. Like, I'm not gonna be all, let me get cute and come over here and be like, yeah, what's going on? No, I'm like, if you don't see when you walk in the door and you ain't on me, then we might as well I could leave the show.
And the whole competition thing, because it to me, it's a competition.
Yeah, and I'm not doing that. I'm just be me. And that'll be it. So yeah, that's fun. That's just something fun that we like to do. And I felt like I really I look at it in more of an analytical way now. I'm looking at the characters I liked. I'll tell you who off the bat that I just kind of remember that I like, and maybe we could every week we could just laugh at whoever get kicked off or something.
I like Joy. Joy was one of the ones that I liked immediately from the female perspective, that she stood out.
Joy, let me see.
Yep, because she was the one who said that.
Oh, I loved her hair. First,
yeah, she said she got married at 35, and she called her pastor the next week. Was like, "What did I just do? This is not. Yeah, I'm not ready." She made a mistake, and so she realized that she had made a mistake, and she got a divorce, and she took the time, it sounds like, from her intro.
Yeah, she was in the top. I almost didn't like Simone at first.
Let me see. Simone.
And then as we got kind of toward the middle end of what she was saying, I started liking her. I was like, I might be lightweight rooting for her. Even though all of them, I don't know, it was some interesting stuff that they all said, but she was kind of in my views.
Yep.
Yes. What about the guys? Who did you like on there?
You're gonna laugh. I mean, it was actually hard because the guy with the pink suit, I don't know. So I'll tell you, Edwin.
Oh yeah,
Edwin, the one with the salt and pepper. I like that salt and pepper.
You definitely do. I was not feeling him. Go ahead.
And I mean,
I love that me and my friends.
Was it Rashid? It was Rashid. That was the first one that stood out to me.
Okay.
Because he has the son. And he said he got a divorce. He said, but he intentionally did not date because he knew that this would be a new normal and he wanted to make sure his son could adapt. And so he took that time. So as a man and a father, that really he thinks before he makes moves, right? He just didn't say, "Oh, I'm newly divorced. What's up?"
Yeah, I like that.
Have a lot of people, not just men, but women too. They get out of a relationship and jump right back into one, and you have kids, and you're not even thinking about them
because you're thinking about yourself.
Yep.
And what you need and happiness and stuff like that. But stability with your kids is a big deal, guys. Like for me, I'm gonna tell you, and I know I'm an extreme version because I'm like 7 years and I still ain't got nobody that I feel like because I don't have nobody that I feel like I could really bring in. I haven't had a real steady relationship to where somebody that I'm bringing in my kid's life, but we're at the point where we talk about these things, me and my boys. Like I'll be like talking about if I ever met someone or why I haven't wanted to, grow anything with somebody else and stuff like that. Like I talk to them about that stuff. I'll be like, dudes be trying to holler, but I just can't just be with anybody, Their whole thing is like, you got to be nice. They need to be a nice person. I'm like, you think I'm gonna be with somebody mean? I'm like, of course they're gonna be nice, but they need to be bringing something to the table too.
That's true.
In all aspects. I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about just, are you somebody I want my kids to look at, to look up to, and stuff like that. So this is fun. Honestly, I'm not attracted to any of these men. None of them were like, oh yeah. I was like, The dude who's the cowboy, he was interesting with his accent. I was like,
I liked it because I'm like, okay, he said he rides horses, he uses his hands to fix things. And then of course, I have an older father from the South. So it was like, yeah, he would be a potential. He could.
I know you would like him.
Yeah. It was the accent being from Chicago because it was like, okay, speed that up, get that thought out.
Physically, he's attractive. But I'm not like attracted to him. I don't know, it's weird. Same thing with the bodybuilder dude. I was like, okay, sounds like typical bodybuilder. Right. I don't know. It felt like, what else are you bringing to the table other than the fact that you're like,
I do feel like I like
much into it.
I do feel like I like the Atlanta cast better than
Houston.
I don't know why, but just off the bat, it is
visually. I know. I was like, this will be fun.
And personality wise, I'm gonna be honest with you, because like on some of those casts, like they had good they had different, I don't know, the personalities just popped.
Yeah, I feel like these are kind of like, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. This will be our little
check-in
thing that we could check in. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and end today. We had a full episode with Star and stuff like that. So I think we were able to bring some good stuff to you this week. You know what you need to do. Let me see your shirt because you're about to go do it right now. Vote, sis. We need to vote. This is it. This is your last chance. This is your last chance, right? So when this airs,
this is Texas early voting. So the last day is October 30th. So hopefully,
but the last time we talked to them, this is it. This is our last time to talk to them about this.
Yeah, because
it'll be the day after when dang, it feels like we're still gonna have like 2 weeks before we can really talk about it. We might have to go live or something after next week, because our next week's episode will have already been recorded. So we might have to go live or do something to give a recap on what we think and stuff afterward. We'll see.
Day. Depending on who's elected, I might need a mental day.
I might need one regardless.
I know we're off on election day.
Off on election day?
Yeah, they gave us election day off. They consider it as a federal holiday. They want to make sure that we have no reason not to go vote.
Wow, that's powerful.
I know, right?
Yeah. Way to go. Other than that, everybody, please just make sure if you're in the state that early voting is still going on, get your early vote on for the next couple days. And November 3rd is the last day to vote. It's not like vote, you know how we be like, it's voting day. It's really just saying that's your last possible chance to get your vote in. Yes. So if you can get there early, y'all. Because even in the early, with it being able to go early, you have lines and stuff that's happening. Just do it as early as you can, just in case there's any issues that you need to clear up beforehand, because we got to get that vote in. What else? Any other announcements? I'm trying to think. Nope, not that I could think of. So, rate, review us.
And that's all. Follows upon us. Use this time, your fall by gain. Make it strong.
Did we have a call to action?
We really didn't. But if I would say call to action is continue to work on your discovery. I mean, especially if you're sheltering in place, you have time.
Yes. And obviously every week the call to action is about voting. That's what I was like, we're just going to put that in there every time. Vote. Keep discovering. Do not. It's a lot of this stuff is about resilience and grit and endurance, and the race is not given to the swift or the strong, but the ones that endure to the end. So don't give up, don't give in. If you're feeling stressed or frazzled, as they ask him, the mental health info, then seek some help. Seek some help. Do not give in. This is not the end, y'all.
If you think you don't need it, you might need it.
Yeah. Take time out for self. And your health is everything. And your mental health is a part of your health. So make it count.
And that's why you also need to vote, because that's part of sometimes what they want to exclude or include is part of, health care.
Yes, right? So true. Yeah, next week we might be talking about mental health, I think. So
especially as we approach the holidays and the new normal, where you won't be able to necessarily congregate with your friends and your family.
Yeah.
The pandemic.
True. All right, y'all. Well, we have a bold week and we will see y'all next time. Peace.